Hey guys, it's Shannon from iHeart Canada here with Luke Hutchie. Hello, how are you?
Oh my God, hello. I'm so good. How are you?
I'm great now that I'm talking to you. I'm so excited to talk to you about Ezra. This is the new hot show that is out now, so people can go and watch it on OUTtv, which is very exciting. I have so many questions for you about how this all came to be because, first of all, congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. I literally am so happy to be talking to you.
Oh, I'm so glad that you say that. How does it feel, first of all, now that the show is out?
It feels like a part of like my secret has been like out. I can't explain it. And obviously, like there's new episodes that continue to come out weekly, but it's just it was always like something that like my team worked on and no one ever saw. So I feel like someone's like read my diary, if that makes sense. Like I was like, oh, it's like a thing that people can see now. It's no longer like this thing in the group chat. And so it's crazy, but everyone who's seen it has like really loved the show and like the reactions online have just been great and I just could not be more happy because imagine if everybody hated it and how embarrassing that would be.
Yeah, right? That'd be so rough. Is there ever any fear in that when you were like developing the show and making it? Was there ever any voice in the back of your head that was like, what if people don't like this thing?
I think it was definitely there, but I think we did such a good job at making the show camp, but
Mhm.
also grounded in like its own weird reality where like it's funny within itself. I don't know. I think that if we focus on just trying to sell it as like the scary vampire thing, it wasn't going to work. And if we made it really funny, it just wasn't going to work with the vampire thing. So I think we found a good ground that I was like, okay, I think this is like the spot that people can connect with here.
Right. And this is your love child, right? Like this is
Yeah.
your idea and your concept that you brought to life. Where did that come from?
Hell.
Okay.
Um, I my favorite movie of all time is Jennifer's Body. That was
Okay.
the first thing. And then I love the Addams Family. I love scary things. Death Becomes Her, Jawbreaker, Scream Queens, American Horror Story. I love when things are scary but stupid or scary but funny. And I think for so long, Canada had a very large drought of queer content. And then with the success of Orphan Black and Schitt's Creek and all this stuff, it kind of just took off. And I think, I was like, well, we don't have anything that's dark and that is, in that realm. And I just one day was like, oh, wouldn't it be so funny if there was like a gay vampire? And I swear it was like a 3-page thing. And somehow we ended up here.
That's wild. This is the first show that you've created too, right?
This is the first show I've made that's like been like happened.
Right.
I
Okay.
I tried to do this with something else, but Ezra was like, it would not die. Everybody came back to the gay vampire show, and I was like, I don't get it. What is so obsessed about this silly little Gemini vampire? But here we are. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Here we are. And how was the experience for you then creating something like this, it being your first time?
it was literally crazy. It was as amazing and crazy as you would ever like assume it to be. Obviously, when you're like starting from literal scratch, that was I was, there's no guide of like how to do this. So it's kind of like every day I was like, okay, so the call sheet goes out, and as long as everybody shows up, then that means we can film and nothing will go wrong. I just need people to show up at the place. And that was just the biggest stressor, but it fell into place like fairly easy. Like even with the cast and having Chelsea and Zoe and Veronica and Priyanka and everybody else kind of just land into place perfectly. It was just so on that like Matthew, like I think everyone, it was just it truly was one of those things that it just happened. There
Yeah.
was no other way for it to happen besides it just needed to happen then and it needed to happen now.
Yeah. And this is a stacked cast. You have great
We
people
have
that are in the
oh yeah. We're
show.
like VIP around here. Yeah, no, we have a very stacked cast. I am so gagged and gooped by like it was the funniest thing. I remember filming scenes with Zoe and Chelsea, and I was like, oh great. I was like, I'm gonna be so embarrassed. I was like, not Orphan Black and Degrassi in front of me. Like, leave me alone.
And then like Ginny and Georgia is in there. Like
Yeah.
it's wild. And Veronica, I
It,
actually follow on TikTok. So when I saw that she was in it too, I was like, oh, I love her.
she is crazy. I met her years ago at a Tim Hortons commercial audition where we were paired as a couple.
No
And
way.
that's how I met her. And then we became literally best friends. And as soon as like the show, I literally like was like, oh, I'm meeting with networks. And she was like, listen, what do you need me to do? Writer, producer, actress, magician, I'll do it all. And I was like, it was so amazing to have everybody.
Right. That's what I was going to ask. Was this a kind of situation where you just like call up a bunch of people and you're like, hey, let's be this thing? Or was this like you're putting out the auditions and people are coming to it? How did it come together in this way?
It was like a hybrid situation. So it was like the show got picked up, and I had known Chelsea because I literally the cast of Ginny and Georgia is my friend group
Chelsea Clark.
by just Chelsea Clark. And so I had known Chelsea, and she came in, and I was like, here, I have the show got picked up, like blah blah blah, and we kind of started talking about it, and then she wanted to come on, and so she did, and I knew Zoe, and I knew Veronica, and I knew Priyanka. And so as I was going on, I was like so scared to ask people because it's so embarrassing, right? I'm like, hey, do you want to do like my little thing? Like, imagine if I asked you to do something and it was like really embarrassing and bad. Like, if I'm gonna look stupid, I'll do that to myself. You know what I mean?
They're not gonna tell you either, right? They're just gonna be like, oh
no,
yeah.
no. And I was like, I can't live like that. Like, I can't live being like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. So I was really scared to ask everybody. But as soon as I texted Zoe and she was like, I'm in. I texted Veronica. Veronica was in from like the moment I breathed. If I asked her to jump off a cliff, she'd do it. I mean, like, I love her. And Priyanka, I had known her for years, like years from the clubs. And I messaged her and I was like, hey girl, crazy idea. And she was like, I'm so down. And so that was all how that worked. And then with like Daniela and Cara and Matthew and Danny, they auditioned. And that was a whole like 2-month audition thing. And Daniela, bless her heart, had like 6 callbacks. And it was crazy because Matthew auditioned and then he got it. And I love horror movies, but like there's this thing when like, you do like auditions where like you can see the tape and then you can see their info, but like me and Chelsea are not the smartest people on the planet. So we never looked at this part. And so after he had got, he's like, oh, I'm in like Orphan First Kill. And I was like, the Orphan reboot? He was like, yeah. And I was like, what? Like, what? He was like, how do you not know that? And I was like, what the heck? When? And I was dumbfounded. I was shocked. I was like, oh man, that's amazing. So that's what I mean. Like, it was just the right people at the right time at the right place.
Yeah. And I was lucky enough to go to the premiere this week. Thank you so much for that. That was such an experience. But even just to see you all interact with each other, you guys all seem like you're just on the same level in like a family, really. So that it's really cool to like see that on the screen and also not on the screen. It's so great.
I mean, it's the trauma bonding of filming a show in overnight shoots in Canada during March where it's free. But no, I love everyone. Like it was such a great cast, and even directors. Like I'm like they're literally my little satanic family. Yeah. We have a group chat that everyone annoys each other in, mostly me. Because I'm just like, hi everyone. Right. But no, who's it was so
active. Who's most active in the group chat?
Oh, literally me. I'm in there as like Kris Jenner. I'm like, hey guys, like MTV Canada and like Steam Whistle Brewery wants us to do this. Hey guys, we're going to this party. Hey guys, hey everyone. Like, and I guarantee you half of them have it muted, but it's either Daniela sending memes or something, or me trying to be professional. And then I'm like, okay, let's just send an email. But it's and then Chelsea just likes things.
Right.
But it's a chaotic little bunch in there.
Yeah, I love that. You did say something at the premiere when you were on stage, and I'm paraphrasing, but it was something along the lines of like, you wanted this to be like an LGBTQ plus inclusive cast without it making that the main focus of the show, like so many shows do. So tell me more about that.
I think definitely I know people mean well. Like, I just want to preface what I'm about to say with like, I am aware the intention is correct. Mm-hmm. But like, there are auditions, and as an actor, you get them, and as anyone in entertainment, there's a lot of stereotypes. And literally, like, I have gotten full-blown auditions that are like, yes, Mama Boots, Slay, Queen, Hunty, like, and again, it's there and it's real and that is relevant, but not every like queer person talks like that. And that's not your sexuality is not your personality. You're like, you could also just like be a math teacher and be gay. You know what I mean? It's not like you're like, it doesn't matter. And so I really felt like there was a market that wasn't being explored, that was a character that is not straight, but has nothing to do with the storyline at all. And I think especially with EZRA, like we really made it a focus point to not touch on it. I think the only time it's ever commented on is in episode 4 when Ezra and Ian talk about, you know, that moment, the vulnerable moment. But it's still not Ezra who brings it up, you know. And I think our biggest thing was to create a world where that wasn't important. That represents my friend group and probably your friend group today. And it's just like when you have those people that you surround yourself with that love and respect you, it doesn't matter who you are. And I think we really wanted to create that world on screen because I don't feel like Canada has seen that yet.
Yeah, totally. I know. And we were talking about how like the missing things in Canadian media, but we have to mention Drag Race as well, because that's something that's come in popularity over the last couple of years. Priyanka, as you mentioned, is in the show, and it's Priyanka's acting debut, right?
Yes. Thank you, Debbie Hollywood.
Yeah, congrats to Ezra, the show on that. That's insane.
She was amazing. Like, could not have like showed up so professional. I'll like exactly how she is, but just like so professional, so like on it, so like quick. Like that last moment too with her and Veronica, that was all improv. Like that was not scripted. So they were just both going back and forth, and oh my God, she's just so amazing to work with, and I cannot wait to work with her again.
Yeah.
I love her. She's great. Stream taste test.
Did the show end up being what you envisioned it to be?
I think in a way, I think it was so different than seeing things in your mind and then seeing it what it is. I think in ways it exceeded my expectations. And then in ways I was just like, what the hell is going on? And I'm just like, if we had to do it over again, I would do the same way. I was so grateful for how it looks and how it came out. And I'm just so like, I feel like I went through a boot camp to get to where it is, and for the show to look how it does and how like, I mean, I think it looks great. That's my opinion. That's me. But I just think that like we really, everyone truly put their best foot forward. And I think we got the best possible result we could have got. Like I'm just like astounded at the fact that it's like I was literally sitting on this couch that you can't see this whole thing, and I wrote it, and I was like, oh, premiere, carpets, let's do it. So I'm so stoked.
Yeah. What are you going to take from this as an actor, as a producer, as a creator, and to your future projects?
I think the biggest thing is like I just have an understanding of how everything works. And I think that is the strongest asset that I have now is, you know, understanding the start to the end of shows and kind of what we have to do to make them cohesive. And I don't know, I think the storytelling, obviously the energy and the representation of the show. And I think just like the overall experience has taught me so much of how to create something that's great and that inspires people. And I don't think I had that going into it. And I think halfway through, we really found the groove of the show and really found out how to put it together.
Yeah. Nice. Luke, thanks so much for chatting. Congrats on your show.
Well, thank you.
It's so good. It's so everyone needs to check it out. How many episodes are out right now? 2?
It's 2 right now. There'll be 2 more on Saturday, and it's 2 every Saturday until Halloween.
Nice. What a great way to celebrate the spooky season.